Welcome everybody to Filmoscopy, motherfuckers. This is the special episode where we continue with the Robert Eggers trilogy. So today's movie is going to be The Lighthouse, 2019's The Lighthouse. This movie was first released at the Cannes Film Festival on May 19th, and then eventually was released worldwide on October 18th. So it took them, I don't know, do the math. All right. It had a budget of $11 million, and it made $18.3 million back in the box office.
Still less than Morbius.
Yeah. Well, Morbius is, of course, the greatest movie ever made. This movie could not touch Morbius or the Minions: Rise of Gru. That's also a really good movie.
I think Morbius actually made more money than all three of Eggers' movies.
Yeah. What about what
Like,
about Minions: Rise of Gru, versus Morbius? Which one wins?
Okay, say that again.
Minions: Rise of Gru.
Probably Minions.
All right, we're gonna have Cody punch.
I haven't even watched it. Oh, is Steve Carell in Minions?
Yeah, he's Gru.
I know he's Gru, but I know it's about a young Gru, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, they might have
he's in it as Gru again.
Did they pitch shift his voice up or some shit?
Probably so.
Well, which is fine. I'm just saying. Anything Steve Carell's in is great.
So, Minions: Rise of Gru drew in a box office of $894.2 million. I'm going to go ahead. I'm pulling up to get the exact number, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's a little bit more than Morbius.
What?
Morbius made like $160 million.
Yeah, $163.9 million.
What the fuck?
That Minions, man. I want to know how much they've made as a franchise, because those the whole Despicable Me thing. I've never watched the third movie.
Yeah,
but the first two were great.
Yeah.
And I know that shit's had a rack in money.
The Minions movie's fucking terrible. It's one of the worst movies. The original Minions movie fucking sucks.
Yeah, I tried watching the original one because I'm like you, Lance. I like the first two Despicable Me.
Yeah,
I've never seen the third one.
I like Despicable Me 1, 2. Just 3. Is 3 the one that's like? I don't know if I watched 3, but I know I liked 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're also coming out with a fourth one in 2024.
Despicable You.
Despicable Me.
Despicable P.
Yeah, so on the Morbius scale, the Rise of Gru is about 6 Morbiuses.
Damn, bro. We're going to have to
lay more than that in it.
We're going to have to lay
If you multiply that by 6, I mean, it's roughly...
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about 100 million. Obviously, it's 160 million.
It's probably more
that's 890.
It's probably more like 5.5 Morbiuses. It is the Despicable Me franchise has grossed over $4.4 billion globally across 5 films. Sorry,
beautiful.
But yeah, the first Minions movie sucks. I actually do want to see the Rise of Gru though.
Nice.
Is Steve Carell coming back for it?
Yeah, he's in it.
Well, I didn't know. I'm just asking shit.
I mean, he's the centerpiece of the Minions saga. Even
they replaced Chewbacca, they replaced R2D2, and they replaced Go Fuck Yourself. Okay, I'm just asking the question.
They replace those because they died.
Probably.
They're gonna kill. They're gonna kill Steve Carell. It's not even gonna be Gru.
Cody.
They're gonna fucking model Steve Carell and kill him.
Cody's over here like, I'm helping you get a job possibly, so I'm gonna be a complete asshole to you. It's like, are you kidding me?
your phone's doing that thing it does.
Yeah,
where it's like blah, 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 blah.
Oh god. Okay.
You fucking kidding me?
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah,
that's a little better.
It sounded like you were doing almost like a hardcore punk breakdown
All right, boys. So
ladies.
All right, ladies and boys. Back to our fucking scheduled program. So yeah, we're doing The Lighthouse. This is a movie I have liked since I saw it. It's one of my favorite movies of 2019, along with Parasite. This movie's great because it has. The reason why it works so well for me and I'll get to you guys and ask you kind of how, just a basic rundown of how you guys feel about it and stuff, and what your experiences are. But a big reason why this movie works so well for me is that I've always been a big fan of nautical stuff. I've always liked like the Age of Sail and, old like sailor stories and shit. I've always liked that stuff. I always thought that the sea and like, sea creatures and stuff always made for really spooky kind of atmospheres, with like, you have H.P. Lovecraft, for instance, always like, Cthulhu comes from the ocean and shit. And, there's all sorts of spooky stuff that happens in the ocean. And this really gelled with me. I liked the idea. But, I saw this for the first time the year it came out. I saw a trailer for it. I thought it looked like nothing else that had come out, around that time. So I was like, dude, this looks crazy. I want to see that. I guess I'll go to you next, Cody, because I know you have prior experience.
Yeah. So I'm similar to you, to where I saw the trailer and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Obviously, we talked about it on the Witch episode, but I think by this point, I was already a fan of Robert Eggers because of The Witch. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I saw it until I think they put it on Hulu in like 2020, early 2020, and I think that's when I saw it for the first time. Because it was just, I don't know what it was. It was either I couldn't get anyone to go with me to go see it in theaters, or there were a bunch of other things coming out in theaters I wanted to see.
Are you trying to tell me Stephanie wouldn't go see a movie like this?
No. I still haven't been able to get her to watch this movie.
Lauren watched it with me today. She watched it with me the first time also.
She was like, woo-wee, Robert Pattinson's like, ass is fire.
I love it when he beat his meat, and I love that fish pussy too.
But but yeah, I really loved this movie the first time I saw it, and because of that, I'm hopeful for The Northman, which I still haven't watched because I'm going to watch it for the first time for the podcast. But yeah, I mean, that's my experience with it. I saw it then. I may have watched it one more time while it was on Hulu, but today would have been my third time watching it.
So how was the third rewatch? How's that?
Oh, I still liked it. And
yeah,
it's interesting, trying to even after watching it 3 times, it's still a difficult movie to kind of piece together, trying to figure out exactly what's real and what isn't. But I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah. So this is my first time rewatching it, and I mean, definitely going into this not really knowing what's kind of going to happen and what the backstory to these characters are or anything. It's a wild ride your first time around. But even on the second watch, I was pretty captivated with it. I enjoyed it, and having that prior knowledge is really cool to go back and be like, hey, that seagull that you see, he's missing an eye, so that means he's the soul of the guy's buddy. You just pick up on little details like that, which is really cool. All right, Lance, I know this is your first time, but I know you've heard of us talk about it and stuff, but do you have anything else you've have any other experiences with this?
I've heard about it in conversation with Cody and with Owen separately before we did the podcast. And I've heard it obviously talked about since then, and this is my first time watching it.
Okay.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to get this out of the way. And this is going to reference another movie we referenced in the last episode, which was Signs. I like the black and white aesthetic of this movie a lot. Mm-hmm. I like it. There's some of it just kind of reminds me almost of 1950s, 1960s filmmaking, because I mean, you have the close up of the seagull squawking at Robert Pattinson's character, and obviously you can tell it's a fake seagull at some points, but they do that first person shot of each one. And it's kind of cool. I like that. But this movie, this movie's going to do one of two things. I feel like either it's going to bring you in and you're going to be mesmerized by all these random pieces in this movie. And you're like, oh, which part is real? You try to piece this together, try to make this whole fit. And the director has set out and said in this, when he made this movie, that he was more interested in the questions of this movie more than the answers. So he made this movie purposely like this. I don't think this guy's a village idiot. But this movie, what it did for me, it fucking lost me at some point, and it's almost, it makes as much sense as the Ring video from Scary Movie 3, where they have all the random shit, the chick's combing her armpit hair. You know, the guy's riding the chair upside down. You see the close-up shot of the ring. It turns out it's a toilet seat in a dude's ass, and he looks down and shuts the toilet seat. And the end of the video, he opens up the toilet seat and sits back down.
Yeah.
That's what this movie did for me.
Yeah. Did you watch it with subtitles on? That's going to be...
No, I didn't have to do it. I had it loud enough.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the thing was, I was reading, because, like I said, obviously, I thought there was something wrong with me watching this, because I'm like, I don't quite understand this. So I had the Wikipedia page out, and I was reading the plot as the movie was going along to make sure I understood what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what this... Sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off.
No. You're good. No, you take over. I'm not going Charlie and the Chocolate Factory this episode.
No, it's all right.
I'll say that for the ending.
But yeah, I think this movie, I don't think you need to have like a knowledge of like any kind of like nautical mythology or anything. But you know,
I think it helps though.
Yeah,
because I looked that stuff up as I was watching the movie. The image towards the end of the movie, where, Dafoe is naked and he's hypnotizing.
Yeah. That shot. Yeah, that shot rocks.
That
shot always gives me chills when it does that.
But it's mirroring a painting.
Yeah.
Of like the Greek mythology of, I can't remember what it is. I was reading up all on it. I know it's based off of like the old man of the sea, who's the son of Poseidon or some shit like that. I can't remember his name. And then his son. Like, it's all this kind of weird shit. There's some times in this movie that it brought me in, like, oh man, I wonder, like, what's about to happen next? And then it just went on this fucking acid trip.
Mm.
And this movie's got a 90% of Rotten Tomatoes. So let me tell you something, buddy. I'm the other 10% today.
Okay.
So
I guess we can start with, I guess we could talk about the cast a little bit. So this is...
Well, I mean, there's not much in it, thankfully.
What'd you say?
There's not much of cast in this movie, thankfully. So it's 5 people.
Yeah. Well, really, only the big two are really all I want to talk about, unless you guys have anything cool to say about any of the other casts.
Well, the mermaid and the Will Wilson, is that the guy's name?
Yeah, Ephraim Winslow, the real Ephraim
Winslow. Okay, yeah. My bad. Yeah, those two the actress and the actor don't even have a Wikipedia page, so I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah, they're unknowns, pretty much. But the two big ones, this is Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. Are
Batman versus the Green Goblin.
Yeah, literally, quite literally. I guess they have gotten their limelight recently with the new Spider-Man and the Batman. But I think this is where Robert Pattinson kind of shed his Twilight stigma a little bit. This is where I guess I kind of like accepted that, hey, he could be a serious actor.
I think. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think that in between Twilight and this movie, he was doing a lot of like more indie productions, which I guess you could sort of consider this to be that too.
It's indie, but it's like A24 indie. So
yeah. So like,
but his indie stuff wasn't widely seen, I don't think.
Yeah. Right.
I think this is probably the first one, other than maybe, I don't even remember when Tenet came out, because I know he's in Tenet.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that.
This is probably the first one that was like widely seen by, well, the potential of being widely seen. It only made $18 million at the box office. So
yeah.
But this was like the first time. Like, if I had just seen Robert Pattinson like in the Batman straight from Twilight, I would have been like laughing my ass off and like would not have taken that shit seriously. Not that I think the Batman's like amazing or anything, or that Robert Pattinson like fucking blows it away in that movie. And even in this movie, I'm gonna be honest, on my second time around, he definitely gets like up. Like, Willem Dafoe kind of blows him out of the water a little bit, you know?
Well, yeah, but you got to think Willem Dafoe has been acting for decades, you know? So it's like,
and he definitely
Willem Dafoe is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his character...
Dafoe is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And his character has a lot more, there's a lot more going on with his character, you know, so he can kind of play around with that. He's just like basically a stereotypical sailor pirate guy. But the reason why these two are in this film is because after I think both of them saw The Witch and they were both impressed, so they approached Robert Eggers to be in a movie directed by him, and so that's how they got on there. That's the story with that.
Well, also, because I watched parts of an interview that they did, because they both had seen The Witch, like you said. Pattinson told him that he wanted to do something really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. And then next time we saw Eggers hands him the script. He goes, "It's not going to get any weirder than this." And Pattinson said he read it. He goes, "Yep, that's pretty weird. I'm in." You know, and it was pretty cool. I think the Wikipedia article said that Pattinson and Dafoe were to meet with him on separate projects, like different projects. Yeah. And it turned into a meeting for this.
Yeah, I think Eggers was going to make... We talked about it on the last one, but he's going to make a couple different things, and I think maybe they were supposed to be on those different projects.
excited for his Nosferatu.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That would be good, like, in this style, too, you know?
Wait, what did you say about Nosferatu, Lance?
No, I was just saying it's going to be pretty exciting. Like, when that happens. Like, I think that's a vampire movie that actually will scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, and we talked about that on the Witch episode as well. So if you haven't listened to that episode, people, go back and listen to it. But yeah, it's basically just in brief summary for that. He was going to make Nosferatu after The Witch and backed away from it, or put it on the back burner, because he was like, you know, how pretentious would it be for me to think that I could remake this classic as my second film ever. And now I think that he is working on Nosferatu now that The Northman is out.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that too. I guess we can talk about like the first thing you noticed in the film, which we already a little bit touched on, was the way it... Oh, go ahead.
Real quick, Anna Nicole Taylor...
Anya Taylor-Joy, yeah. Right? I think is her name.
Yeah, whatever her name was. Anna Nicole Smith. The chick who's in The Witch and she plays a small part in The Northman, she told Eggers that she wanted to be the mermaid in this movie.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Eggers had responded to her, because I don't think she had read the script yet. He goes, "I don't have a role for you in this movie, and I don't think you should play this mermaid."
Was she underage at the time, or...
I don't think she was underage yet. I think she had already grown up. But I think if she had played that kind of small part as, you know, a mermaid getting fucked by him, probably would have like damaged her career in some way, because it's so easy to get typecasted as some shit like that.
Yeah, especially if you're showing
she's done
titties showing.
Yeah, I know, and your little fish pussy, like you said.
Yeah, shark pussy.
Sponsored by Red Lobster.
So I'm just checking real quick. So principal photography started on April 9th of 2018 for this film, which would have made her... She would have just turned 22.
Oh, okay.
So she was of age. It's just... it probably is one of those things. It's like, look, you know...
there's no speaking role, really. Like, you're just going to be showing your titties.
Yeah, and like The Witch kind of launched her career, and I'm sure she wanted to work with Eggers again because, you know, he helped because of The Witch. You know, the connection there. That's why she became a famous actor. And it's just like, it's sort of a weird thing to like, okay, well, we're going to bring you in for this very overly sexualized mermaid that doesn't speak. And really, you're only on screen for... two shots in the whole film for a total of maybe like 15-20 seconds, if that. So it really would have... I think it would have been weird seeing her as the mermaid.
Yeah, it probably would have been more detrimental than beneficial.
Yeah.
So all right, now that you guys want to talk about the weird way they shot this movie and how it looks. I know we already touched on it a little bit, but this movie's in black and white and has like a weird old school like 1920s aspect ratio.
Yeah, I love it. I freaking love it.
Like, it looks like it adds so much to the atmosphere. Like, have you ever seen that game? Because there's this aesthetic that nautical stuff has where it's always kind of like black and white, like those Herman Melville, like Moby Dick, like drawings and shit. Mm-hmm. But if you've ever seen like The Return of the Obra Dinn, it was a popular game that came out a little while ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
it was made by the same guy that made Papers, Please, I think.
Yeah, and it has like that same black and white kind of look. I think that's like really important to like this nautical theme here. It really makes you feel kind of like it looks old fashioned. It looks creepy. It looks great. I love the way they shot it, and I know they used like a special camera to. Let me just glance through here. No, I thought they used like a NASA camera or something, but I think I'm just thinking about fucking what's that movie called?
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah, of course they would use a NASA lens for that. But yeah, I remember him just. No, he uses like an old fashioned. It's shot on old film. It's like 35 millimeter film using like a really old camera from like the 40s or some shit. That's what I remember. Okay. So that's what gives it that kind of like look with the lights and stuff. They play a lot with the lights in this movie and like the makeup on the actors. There's this really cool part at the end where Robert Pattinson's looking into the light and it has shadow on him a little bit and it makes this like black makeup kind of pop out and it makes him look like he has like shadow all over his face and the light gets on it and it kind of, you could tell that they didn't like, there's no cut or anything, but it kind of makes his face pop more and gets out of the darkness. So they do also.
Just before you continue on, that shot in particular where he's staring into the light and he kind of like starts laughing before eventually screaming. Did you pick up on the fact that like that shot looks almost identical to the shot of Anya Taylor-Joy in The Witch when she's laughing at the end?
Yeah, she flies
lifted up.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. No.
Like, I don't like just those first few seconds of when he's laughing. It's almost like the same framing and everything. It's so, I don't know if it was intentional or just because that's his style, but it's like, wow, that's actually kind of weird.
Yeah, we watched The Northman. It ends the same way.
It's like something's going on here.
Well, real quick, as a sneak peek, Owen, did you like The Northman?
No, I haven't watched The Northman yet. No.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you watched the Northman.
No,
right there.
I have not. We'll first time I'll be watching this when we watch it for the podcast. So, nice. But yeah, I mean that shot in itself is cool. I like what they do with the sound, where they kind of blow out his screams. It makes it like, it gives me kind of goosebumps.
At first, like it kind of comes off like it's part of the score. You know, like. I'm like, wow, that's like a weird thing to put in for like the music. It's making it intense, and then you kind of realize like, oh no, that's him screaming or whatever. So that's a really cool, just a whole cool shot.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I can't really think about the music really in this movie. I know there's kind of like weird themes sometimes where like spooky shit's going on, or like there's like dramatic stuff happening. But I honestly really can't remember it too much.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't either. But you didn't pick up on the SpongeBob theme that was put in there? No.
Yeah, when they said, "Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?" He's like,
that's when Pattinson's staring up at Willem Dafoe when he's up in the lighthouse naked.
Yeah, and the fucking glob of cum drops on him.
No, I was talking about when he's like down on the ground near the house and he looks up and it's at night,
Yeah, he's like in the lighthouse, like against the wall. Dude, that'd be funny if it played, the fucking, I always talk about it, the music that plays in that SpongeBob episode where he takes like the jellyfish home. And it's like, fucking somebody should edit that and put that music in that scene where he's just fucking jamming out in that lighthouse. But so yeah, that's kind of our thoughts on Lance, did you like the black and white? Did that catch your eye? Did you like the aspect ratio and the light?
Yeah, I mean, all that was awesome.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like I was watching, like watching an old like fucking Universal Monsters movie.
Yeah.
Or even like way later on, the black and white like of Psycho, just the shots in that movie.
Yeah.
Like this movie is really well done, really well made.
Yeah.
That's not the issues I have with this movie.
It's,
I think the actors, I think everything's acted perfectly. I just think the fucking story.
Yeah, the plot is kind of
Well,
I mean, that's kind of what this movie's all about. Really, the plot is just. Hold on, wait, I have to burp. Damn. All right. So, I mean, really, just the plot is just these two lighthouse guys going like fucking crazy, like from isolation, being stuck on this, shitty little rock. In this.
Well, that's the thing. So, since sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
Since you brought up that point, are they both crazy or not? Because that's something.
Yeah.
As I was watching this, like to me, it came off like Wake was.
The crazier one, like he's batshit, like he's straight up like gaslighting him, like as soon as like, everything starts.
So to me, his form of craziness sort of came off as like old man crazy. You know, just make up a bunch of BS stories that make you sound more interesting. Whereas Thomas, young Tom. Robert Pattinson's Thomas.
Yeah, we
Winslow.
can call him like Ephraim or Winslow or whatever.
So his form was like more of the kind of because he's essentially an alcoholic and
this has like a violent kind of crazy, like more of like kind of a not narcissist but sociopath, I guess.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder because he talks about how his old boss died. He watched him fall in, but did he watch him fall in or did he push him in?
Yeah, and then there's that scene he's having like a flashback to the logs, and you could see the hook, like, and he's bringing it down on his head. So you can't be sure if he's lying or not about that. Like he might be trying to cover his ass and be like, I didn't hit him. He just I just didn't save him. So
and watching the film. It really, like, leading up to, like, the big turning point, which I would say is the moment that Wake comes in, he's like, all the rations are gone.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? We've only been here an extra day or whatever. He's like, no, we've been here for like,
weeks. He said, like, 3 weeks or some shit, yeah.
He's like, they were only supposed to be there for 4 weeks, but I think he said they had been there for close to 8 weeks at that point.
Yeah.
And that's when like Winslow's just like, what the fuck? I don't understand how it's been this much time. And as a viewer, it kind of throws you off there too, because like it doesn't really feel like that much time has passed. But that's because you're following Winslow throughout the whole story. So that's what I'm saying. Like Wake kind of comes off as just old man crazy who makes up stories, whereas Winslow's like genuinely like lost his mind.
Yeah.
And
we're kind of on this journey with I guess we could call him Howard. That's his real last name. We're on this journey basically with Howard, but along the way, through seeing all this weird shit that old Wake is doing, like fucking his bed and stuff, we come to realize that our protagonist is also kind of just as batshit crazy and has things to hide.
Yeah.
So it really. There's a lot of debate. I just saw when like I scrolled the Wikipedia page like after I watched. There's like debate on what kind of genre it is. Like, is it a character study? Is it a horror? Is it like a psychological thriller? And it's kind of all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like a big hook in this is like you have to be, I guess, interested in the characters that they're portraying, and I love characters that are absolutely batshit. And Wake is just like a really fun character to me too. I love that old sailor telling bullshit stories, But,
I love his monologues too.
Yeah, his monologues are great, and they're all one shot.
And the lighting on some of them, like there's one in particular where the lighting is kind of like he stands up.
Yeah,
and I believe it's the one where he's cursing.
He's like looking up, right, and like his like eyeballs are like real open, and he's kind of like looking down at him. Yeah,
because he like that. Is that the one where he's like, oh, you don't. It starts off by him like kind of being like a disappointed lover almost.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you don't like my cooking, like how could you do it? Like that. The tone in that scene is like, there's this like sort of like relationship between the two, where all of a sudden it goes from being like this idea of a boss and his employee to like two lovers or something.
Yeah,
and one of them like confronting the other one about not telling the truth.
Yeah, they
about
go
something in the relationship.
100%. They go between so many different kind of relationship dynamics. Like, they start out, kind of like a dickhead boss who just gives you all the shit. And then it goes to kind of like this father relationship, father-son maybe, like father figure. And then it goes to like, it's only them. So there's kind of like this weird couple, like romantic dynamic a little bit with like the cooking and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it definitely changes a lot. And then I don't really know what you would call the fourth form of relationship or whatever, but it's pretty much like
hating each other's guts.
Well, there's that, but I was more specifically going to bring up the fact that like Winslow is extremely paranoid about Wake.
Yeah.
Like why is he locking the lighthouse? What is he hiding in that logbook? And yada yada yada. Which of course we find out
he's justified in a way.
Yeah, well, I misremembered the logbook thing because when I was watching it this morning, I thought to myself like, I thought at the end when he finally gets a hold of the logbook, it's a bunch of nonsense. For some reason, my memory was that it was nothing but just gibberish in the book, and that Wake was actually crazy as well. But then you find, it's actually that he's been writing all this stuff down, like, Winslow disappears.
Like, this guy's fucking crazy. He's beating his meat all the time. Fucking whack job.
Yeah, he's a whack job who gives himself a whack job.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, holy shit. And then it really makes you wonder, like, how much time is like genuinely passed here, because that logbook is like full of stuff about him just like he's bad enough and disappeared enough that he doesn't think he even deserves payment. So
that's another big aspect.
Well, the thing is,
sorry, go ahead.
You don't even see Defoe. I mean, his name. Oh, what's his name?
Wake. Just call him Wake.
Wake. Wake doesn't do anything in this fucking movie.
Yeah, he's like a big lazy guy.
Like, he's lazy. And like, of course, I've read. I watched like 7 different reviews of this movie. Or listened to at work. Like the light of the lighthouse is metaphorically like God.
Yeah.
I
always thought it was just like some kind of. I mean, you could take it literally and just be like, oh, they're just fucking batshit crazy, and they love the light for some reason because they're like wikis, and that's the only like, thing that they have going for them. Or like, it could be some nautical shit, like maybe some St. Elmo magic or some shit. But sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to get on that tangent.
No, you're good. No, it's like there's like a lot of things. There's allusions to like the Greek mythology. The one I can't remember what Titan it was that stole the fire from the gods and gave it to the humans.
Yeah, that's
and it's like,
is it Prometheus?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is Prometheus.
So it's like Pattinson's character at the end when he's dying with his guts getting picked at by
it's supposed
seagulls.
to be
it's like the way
Prometheus,
happened to Prometheus, and there's a lot of things if you don't know. If you go in this movie just fucking blind, you're gonna be really fucking confused.
Yeah. I think,
and even reading shit, I'm still fucking.
I think
the
symbolism can confuse you, but I don't know. A lot of the plot, the only scene that like can.
I mean, the plot's not thick. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to.
Yeah. You just mean like these kind of side scenes they go on, I guess. The really only one that.
Well, I'm the type of person, and we've talked about this before. I'm not the type of person that like gets on like Twitter or Facebook. Just saw the Batman. LOL. That movie's really fucking stupid. Yeah. Or I didn't get it. If there's something I don't get, I'm going to look it up on either Wikipedia or an article or a YouTube review or something, just because I want to understand it. And the more I hear people talk about like the movie, and like I said, I did pick out like 7 videos, all like pretty decently sized reviews, because I wanted to like see what they were talking about. And the more I heard about either the theories of this movie or like anything about the plot's not really fucking deep in this movie.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty
and Eggers
straightforward, you know.
And Eggers is very much like, okay, I want everybody to question everything in this movie. Here's the thing. If it's a movie that has like questions in it and at the end it makes sense. Mm-hmm. That's what's satisfying about a movie. This movie, and this is Eggers' point, he wants people questioning all this other shit like that. There's not a clear-cut answer to any of the questions that you're asking. This movie is completely irrational with the way these characters are acting because they're both crazy.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
That's what's unsatisfying about this movie.
Well, I mean, I think you can have a satisfying movie with characters that act irrational. I mean, there are moments of rationality in it. I mean, I would be crazily wanting to get the fuck away after I had, in my mind, perceived that I had given away some kind of like damning secret about myself. I'd be like, fuck that, dude. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I literally just spilled the beans on myself. I need to get in the fucking boat and leave. And being like paranoid that the guy is going to like fucking turn against you because you said that, I mean, there's moments of rationality, in the irrationality.
Yeah, and there. But the thing is, for me, how do I put this? Because, I'm trying to be polite because I remember.
I think I understand what you're saying. For you, you prefer when a movie. It's fine if it has a lot of symbolism and things that are left up to interpretation, as long as there is some sort of satisfying conclusion that at the very least, answers things in a general sense, even if it doesn't necessarily answer every little thing that happens in the film. Whereas this movie is completely up to interpretation. The way I interpret it is the only scenes you can really look at and say are 100% what happened is the scenes in the very beginning of the film when they arrive to the island.
Yeah.
Beyond that, who knows?
Yeah. After that, time kind of loses the meaning and stuff. But yeah, and I mean, I can get that. I can get behind. Thank you, Cody, for putting those words out there that kind of made me understand Lance's position a little more. I do get that.
This movie's stupid, LOL.
Yeah.
And another thing is to, how do I put this? Like, this movie has nothing to do with this other movie. The Thing, watching that movie and listening to the podcast that inspired me to actually do this podcast, the Real Bad Dudes Cast. They talked about all these fan theories about is Childs at the end of the movie an alien as well?
Yeah.
And is what, like Grady, not Grady, but I can't remember fucking dude's name right now. I'm just drawing a blank. Kurt Russell's character, does he have the whiskey bottle? Is it actually fuel? And he makes a little laugh at the end of the movie when Childs drinks it, because you're not supposed to share open containers with each other. And is the alien drinking fuel? All these questions that just blew my mind. This movie is like I said earlier, if you take the Ring movie from the Ring video from Scary Movie 3 and you mixed it with Freddy Got Fingered. And this movie is it's fucking random. And, this movie is completely up to interpretation, and that's fine. But for me, what's unsatisfying about this movie is that, he just made this movie because this dude's a great director. I understand that. And I just feel like he made this movie with no intention of having deep answers. So for me, if the questions you're asking about this movie for your interpretation, that they don't have a meaning to the answer or something that's deep, that's like, okay, that's satisfying, then the questions, like, it's not even worth asking. And that's the problem I have with this movie. Is like he said in a quote, like I said earlier, I read this, and he said, I'm more interested in the questions of this movie than the answers. That's fine if you wanted to make this really deep thing. But when the movie's laid out like this, and like I said, I'm in the minority here. Completely in the minority. But when you don't have questions that give answers, I'm not even talking about logical answers. As somebody that has a brain that's racked with OCD and germophobia, logic is very far away from me at times. So I'm not like questioning that. But when it comes to this movie, and like, okay, they're crazy. Wake is probably more crazy than, Winslow. But like the weird imagery and shit like this, it just doesn't fit. And the questions, like I said, the more I've listened to people talk about this movie, like on those videos, and the more I've read, it just makes like any question I have about this movie just meaningless.
Yeah. I mean,
because ultimately there's no answer to it. I mean, if you're asking a question just to be open to interpretation, and then that's fine. But when we talk about movies on the podcast, or somebody's talking about movies on a review, you're interested in listening to that person's opinion of a movie. And if that person's opinion is closer to yours, you're like, oh, okay, well, that kind of makes sense. I never thought of it that way. Or if it doesn't, you're either like, no, fuck him, I don't like him anymore because he doesn't share my opinion. Or you're like, oh, I never thought about it this way. When this movie is completely, like, void of meaning like this with the answers, like, because there's no answers to it. Like, anything that I say about it is 100% valid, and anything you say about it is 100%
well, I
valid.
mean, there's going to be things that are invalid that if you say certain things. I mean, I'm not of the opinion that a whole lot of it is open to interpretation. I mean, at the end of the day, I believe that both characters are dead, I mean, I think there's questions that are raised, like what's in the lighthouse, or like what's in the light, or, did, what's his name? Howard. That's what we're calling him. Did Howard really kill his boss? What kind of deeper relationship these two, like what kind of weird feelings these two have for each other. But I don't think that like there's not an answer to what happens really in the movie. I mean, like, they're losing their minds, and they're losing their minds for the purpose of being able to do weird symbolic shots and stuff that add to the atmosphere basically and make it kind of spooky. I mean, if you didn't have them like going batshit crazy, you wouldn't have, shit like the weird tonal differences really, which work. I mean, they're not like wrong, but like where they're all singing together and they're happy, and then they jump to like getting like really pissed off at each other, and that's you wouldn't have moments like that, or you wouldn't have like scenes with, I don't know, the mermaid scenes or something like that. Unless you just wanted to make it completely supernatural or something.
Yeah, and interpret it all literally. Which
the one question that kind of negates everything else: what if this whole thing is Pattinson's character is just crazy and none of this is fucking real?
I mean, I don't even.
That's something that's proposed. That's something that's proposed in the film too.
Yeah,
because there's the part toward the end where Wake, or his vision of Wake, is basically asking him. It all spawns off of him confessing that he let his old boss die, and Wake says something along the lines of, "Are you even here? Am I real, or am I just a figment of your imagination? I am probably a figment of your imagination." And it does have
the movie like.
Go ahead.
When he falls down, because like I'm just like another thing. When he falls down and you see the seagulls or whatever, there's no lighthouse. So what if this whole thing's just been all in his fucking head?
I mean, it could.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah, I mean, it could be that he says in that same vision I was mentioning, maybe he did wander off after he let his boss die and got lost and stranded and starved and went and lost his mind, and this is just some crazy vision or whatever dream that he's having as he's dying. You know.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really, I don't know. It's up to you to decide. And I mean, I don't even see that as a thing. I mean, I believe that them going to the lighthouse being there, I believe all that's true. I mean, I just think, you know, like they're just two guys and that are like isolated from civilization that are going like batshit insane and both die. Sorry. Damn.
No, but I mean, I mean, it is something though that I've seen floated around. Like, is this all just a delusion in his head? And it's funny because you find out Pattinson's real name in this movie. It's Thomas something. Well, they both had the same first name.
Yeah.
And in the script, they're referred to as old and young. They're not even referred to as names. And, you know, this whole fucking... And like I said, that's the problem I have with the movie. Everything about the movie, the acting is fucking incredible. Let me just go and get that out of the way. The acting is fucking incredible. I think the cinematography is fucking incredible. I love the aesthetic of it, the black and white. I thought it was really well done. None of it looked phony, even when fucking Defoe's character is dressed up as a sea god and he's got tentacles and shit like that. None of it looked hokey and shit like that. I thought it was awesome, and I thought Pattinson and Defoe were fucking incredible in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think Eggers is a very good director because The Witch was very unnerving to me.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, he purposely set out to make a weird movie, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the whole movie is open to interpretation.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, it's just unsatisfying in some ways. Like, I kind of like having somebody else's vision and be like, oh, okay, I like to see where a story goes. Whereas this movie isn't so much a story, see where it goes. It's just ramblings of either two mad people or one mad person.
Yeah, I think that's that's a completely valid opinion to have about this film. It's like we talked about when we did the Witch episode. This film is a very just artsy film.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
I don't think it's like not super like European artsy fartsy, but it is kind of on that level, you know.
Yeah, I mean the story is the whole story of the film is not very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like a widely accepted form of storytelling, really. You know, it's not like what a general audience would want to see, which you know kind of
why this movie made what 13 million, 18 million?
I think 18 million.
No, 18 million.
Yeah. So it you know, and it's fine, but like you said, I think the film does. Even if you don't like the story, the film it solidifies that Willem Dafoe is an incredible actor, that Robert Pattinson is more than Edward from Twilight, and that Robert Eggers is a genius director.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's another thing about the Pattinson thing. You know, it would be interesting to see if we could go back and see Dafoe, see him acting when he was younger. Because, you know, I don't think anybody really paid attention to who Dafoe was in the main public until Spider-Man. And at that point, he'd probably been acting over 25 years already. And so, you know, it's so hard when you start out acting and you're, like, thrust in such a role with, like, Pattinson. You know, the first role is that one Harry Potter movie or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's in Twilight. And it's like, well, that's stuck to you. And he's doing all this stuff. So maybe he just picked this weird project because he's trying to test the boundaries of his acting. And I was extremely unfair in my critique of Pattinson as an actor because, you know, I made fun of him in that Twilight movie. And deservedly so. Those movies suck. But I think he's a great actor too. And I know there's like, Dafoe just kind of blows him out of the water in this movie.
Bit.
And he does.
At least to me.
But that also is like, I mean, and there's times too, like the whole little soliloquy when Defoe's pissed off about him not liking his cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, Defoe doesn't blink one fucking time in that take. If you go back and watch it, he does not fucking blink. And that shit was really fucking cool. Like, his acting. But I also really like Pattinson's acting. Because he is British, but he's talking with a New England accent in 1890.
He's like, I gotta wash my My fucking car, man. Come on.
and I think that Pattinson really holds his own. Like, there's probably some scenes where Dafoe is pushing him as an actor, and he rises to that occasion. Yeah. I don't think it's so much, and like I said, I just think this because of Dafoe's experience. But I don't think in this instance, to me at least, that when Dafoe is dialing it up to 150 because he can, I don't think he drowns out Pattinson. I think Pattinson rises to the occasion too. You know, and it's just like I said, like my biggest problem with the movie, I like almost everything about it, but it was hard for me to get super into the story because there's times where it brings you in. Like, there's a couple times I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I'm not going to like this movie. And the first part of it, I'm like, oh, damn, I can't remember what it was now. But it drew me in. I'm like, okay. But there's other times it just fucking loses me. And I'm like, I don't quite understand this, which is fine. And that's what I do, like, when I'm watching movies that aren't my movies. I go to Wikipedia, and I start looking up production notes. I start looking up casting notes. I look up the plot. I look up reception. I look up all these things because I'm interested in it. I'm just that type of person. Yeah. And this story, like I said, I mean,
well,
the story. The more I think about it, I don't hate the story from an aspect of like, okay, it's open to interpretation, but it also, and I've showed Cody this movie. I know Owen hasn't seen the movie. But, Cody, you remember in The Other Guys when Wahlberg goes to that art gallery? Yeah. And there's a kitchen table that represents quote-unquote chaos, and literally it's just a dirty kitchen table.
Yeah.
And they're all like, it represents chaos of our lives. And then he goes on some silly way, no, it's not chaos of our lives. It's chaos of whatever. And then he pulls the fucking fork up, and everybody freaks the fuck out. This movie's that kitchen table with just a bunch of shit on it, and people think it's art.
I mean, well... How do you feel? What about the characters? Like, how do you feel about those? I mean, I feel that that's the big draw is just seeing these two guys interact.
It's not so much the characters; it's the actors. The characters are extremely unlikely.
Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to.
And they're supposed
like
to be, but I think like if you're watching this movie solely from an act, like okay, this is I am the village idiot when it comes to acting. With like or anything with like media like this. If you just want to sit back, this is an acting masterclass. It's fucking awesome because it feels like at times I know it's not shot on this because they did spend like $11 million on the budget. It's almost like somebody's filming on a camcorder, like the two best actors in their high school class, and everybody's just mesmerized by it. You know, it feels very intimate. This movie is very intimate at times. And I've read that, you know, it has been considered, it's a psychological thriller, it's a horror movie, you know, or whatever and stuff like that. And there's nothing about this movie that ever scared me or like, oh man, that terrified me. I've heard some people talk about, oh yeah, this movie did terrify me.
Yeah, it's never like, I'm like scared the shit out of me. But there's moments where I'll get like goosebumps by like the imagery mixed with the sound or the music. Like I was just saying about in screaming and like it, you know, distorting the speakers and shit. You know, I thought,
and I think that this when he first encounters the mermaid, I think that's unsettling too. Like, especially like when she's like standing up and like she's laughing, but it sounds, you know, it's supposed to sound like a siren or whatever. Or that's
the mermaid like she squawk or something.
I mean, well, it looks like she's laughing, but it's you know. Like you said, it's like the call of the siren or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's what she's supposed to be, is like a siren or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what Willem Dafoe's character, or that's what Wake says early on in the film too, when talking about the last one that worked for him, is that he went crazy and believed that you know, he became obsessed with the light in the lighthouse, and he believed that there were things like mer people and all and sirens calling to him from the sea and all this other stuff. So it kind of and it makes you that specifically too. It makes you wonder, like, yes, Winslow is going mad, but or is the imagery that he's going mad with, or like seeing in his madness, because of the ideas that were planted in his head early on by Wake?
Like, I was gonna ask this too. Like, you know how he has the mermaid statue, and that's what he beats off to. Is those scenes where he's like fucking the mermaid, like is that something that's really happening, or is that, just him
No.
basically?
Yeah. See, and that's the thing is, I think that it is just him imagining having sex with the mermaid because that's what he uses, to get off is that little mermaid statue. But later on, of course, he believes that it's like some sort of totem planted by Wake that made him mad, and that's why he breaks it or whatever.
Doesn't Wake like fuck his bed in that hole? Like, isn't that what happens in the movie? You know the scene where he's like climbing up the ladder and he looks through.
No, Wake is jerking off while he's naked up there at the light.
Yeah, no,
because it's the first scene when you see Pattinson. He's looking up there, and all of a sudden you hear this, and this like white goop is coming down.
No, not that one.
No,
damn, mine's not that thick.
You're thinking of a different. Yeah, you're thinking of a different scene. Owen's talking about the scene where Winslow's climbing the ladder to get on top of the house to fix the roof after it starts leaking. And he looks down into the room because he's above their bedroom, and he sees Wake,
with his ass
having sex
out.
with having sex with the bed.
He's fucking the hole, bro.
Okay, so is he fucking Winslow's bed?
I'd like to think so, since there's already a hole in it. I guess that's probably what he'd be fucking, but I don't know.
He could. I don't remember.
Oh dear God! I didn't see that scene. Jesus Christ!
But yeah, that's the scene. Like when we were talking about this before, in a previous recording, that's the scene I thought that he was beating off. But Lance's scene that he mentioned is the one that he's actually masturbating up in the lighthouse.
Yeah, and this cum drops down. The only thing that I get lost on is the tentacle monster up in the lighthouse. Is that because Wake is supposed to be like he's supposed to be like
the sea god.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like a sea god, so that's why there's little tentacles.
Yeah. I think
that's the imagery to Greek mythology.
Okay. All right.
I think that,
and that's all there is, and that's just fucking Winslow being crazy.
Yeah, because when you see like the cum dropping down, I fucking hate that word.
Yeah, I hate that word too. Like, I always call it like nut or some shit, or like jizz.
that doesn't sound good either.
I mean, it sounds better than cum though. Like, oh, I'm gonna cum.
The excretion
when you see the spermicide dripping down,
the jism.
The jism, yeah. When you see it dropping down, I think that Lance. I go with what Lance is saying there, where because Winslow is already going mad, and he kind of sees Wake as like this protector of the lighthouse, the one who's hoarding its secret. He kind of.
I think that's how Wake sees himself too.
Yeah, I can see that. But I think that instead of it being like jism dripping down, it's more like slime just coming off of like the tentacles and stuff. So when because he sees it dripping down, he looks down, he looks back up, and that's when you see the tentacle going across.
Yeah.
So I think it's just part of the madness. But
I think someone had put it in one of those videos I watched that he's obsessed with the light because he can't get to it because Wake won't let him near it, and so since Wake is between him and the light, that's why he ends up hating Wake and all this other shit. It's just really fucking weird because, like Cody was saying earlier, he wants a father figure, like almost, but they also try to fuck, and that's just them being stir crazy, or like the theory that I have and I've heard. It's not like my own theory, but it's just like Winslow's fucking crazy and this whole thing's in his fucking head, and he's just sitting there dying up on the fucking beach because there's no fucking lighthouse. He fell down the steps, and then the next thing you see is he's laying in the ground with his intestines exposed, being pecked on by fucking seagulls.
Yeah,
there's no lighthouse.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that gets me is like he falls down the lighthouse, and like you said, he falls down the steps or whatever.
But that was comical too, though. He was like, oh. Well,
it kind of was. Yeah.
It kept going downstairs like, ooh, ow. There's some funny moments.
Yeah, it definitely plays around with comedy here and there, like the farts and shit, and there's that
all the farts. I'm so sick of the farts.
Wake also lies a lot in this movie too. He has like at least two different reasons why his knees all fucked up.
I think he has 3 because
And-
I think like before Howard loses it and tells him to shut up. I think he was gonna go like on another tangent of why he can't use his leg.
Yeah, but the thing is, later on, they're both drunk. He's dancing around and everything.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
And he's doing that fucking like, hey yo, you know that little fucking Irish shit where
he's
you
dancing
balance your
a
feet
jig
out and everything.
I did not even pick up on that.
Yeah.
The fact that he has a bum leg, but yet he's dancing around like there's nothing wrong with it. I did not.
So,
pick up
but
on
that
it.
also that's not me picking that out. That's one of those videos that pointed out to me.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, hey, Lance had something smart, and I got it from somebody. Yeah, but it's just moments like this, and like I said, the whole thing with Wake, and you know, Wake switches from being overbearing boss to wanting to be his
After
friend,
he gets drunk, usually.
like simultaneously. Oh yeah, but it's also at dinner time too.
Yeah. Well, that's the time to
And,
cut up, bro.
you know-
That's the time.
Well, technically, not Wake, but Winslow is he's on the clock, so he's not supposed to drink. He's like, you know, he tells him to toast. He goes, to 4 weeks, lad. And he was like, I can't drink. Or he says something, I can't drink, because this was picked up on too in one of those videos I watched. And he said, you know, I can't drink, you know, I'm on duty. And then he says, you know, well, I guess he goes to get water, but he ends up drinking the liquor anyway, like Wake tricked him or some shit.
I don't.
Yeah.
But no, he goes to drink the water, but it's got sulfur in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, later on in the next scene where they're having dinner, he drinks the water. He makes a face, and Wake asks him. He's like, "Does it still taste of egg?" So it's got sulfur, and I think that's that stuff that he's pouring into the water reservoir from that big sack is to help like clean the water so it's drinkable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Okay, that
I
makes
think
sense.
Winslow or Howard or whatever, like when he finally gives in and starts to drink is when there's the dead bird in the thing, right?
No, he kills it. There's a bunch of dead birds in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's when he actually starts to drink the liquor because literally at that
There's
point the
the
water's
only thing,
ruined.
yeah.
You can't do anything with it.
There's only that and the fucking kerosene that they drink later on.
Yeah, I don't think that he wants to avoid drinking. Obviously, the whole on duty thing is like an excuse. I think he doesn't want to drink because he doesn't want to slip up and confess who he actually is.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I got to.
So one of the pieces of symbolism I want to go back and touch on is the lighthouse itself, the light.
The big cock lighthouse.
It is bizarre that Wake keeps it locked up. And I think it is, like I said, he's old man crazy. So he does think that, oh, well, the lighthouse is his and his only because it's this special thing on the island.
So you don't think that like Wake is like, you think he's just like old man kind of weird, not like a fucking like actually like bad shit mental.
Yeah, I don't think he's completely off his rocker like Winslow is.
He's completely off his rocker.
I mean, but like he's also.
Oh, wait, that's Cody's interpretation. Yeah. My interpretation is either he is completely off his rocker because he killed his last, what was those things? Wiki? What are those things called?
Wiki, yeah.
Well, did he?
Or
he's
a fucking figment of Winslow's imagination.
Did he kill him?
though? Yeah, that's the thing. He says that he was fired because.
Did he say that?
He went crazy.
He said.
Maybe he said no. He drowned, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought he just said he died.
No, he said he died because he went mad. He didn't say anything else other than he just said he died because he went mad. No, he said he went mad. And died.
That's what he said.
He didn't give any other reason because like that. But that's when. What's his face? Pattinson's character Winslow pulls up that fucking lobster trap box, and you see the head in it with the missing eye. So it's supposed to be like, oh, that's the seagull, and then he kills the seagull, and the bad luck comes. The storm.
No, he does that
up,
before.
and then, no, I think that's
he kills the seagull before the guy. Like that's one of the first things he does is like he kills the sneagull.
No. He kills that seagull over the well. That's like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, I think Lance is right. I think he finds the head first, and then he goes.
And this thing's missing eye, So it's like, oh, that's the seagull.
Here.
But then he grabs the seagull later on and smashes it over the well thing.
You.
And then once that happens, the bad luck happens. the storm rises up, so the boat misses the place, but also Wake. I heard
100%. In
Wake
the plot for Wikipedia, it's before it says that he attacks the one-eyed gull, and then later on it says that he later encounters a lobster trap containing the one-eyed head of Wake's previous wiki.
Yeah, he attacks the one-eyed gull when it's sitting in front of the door, but he doesn't kill it.
Yeah,
remember he throws a stone at it, and that's when Wake's like,
he's
I
like,
saw
fuck
you
off
sparring with that bird.
And then Lance, you are right. Like it's kind of like halfway through. I just mean that he kills the bird before he finds the head.
I think it's the other way around, though. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not gonna die on this hill. But I think later on, like, he's already killed,
because he finds.
From what I understand, he kills the bird, and that's supposed to be the last day. Because I read this up on Wikipedia and listened to the videos. He kills the bird, and then the bad luck happens, like the storm brews up. But Wake also gets him drunk, so they oversleep the boat passing him by, so he's stuck on the island with him more.
And then he finds
and then
head.
Later on, like, all this stuff is going crazy. Then he finds the head. But he kills the bird first because that's when all the bad luck's happening. He has 3 encounters with the bird, and he kills him on the 3rd one.
I thought you were saying that. Okay, never mind. I guess because that's totally.
No, I'm getting confused too. Like I said, this whole fucking movie. Maybe I did say that. I think he saw the lobster head. I don't fucking know.
Okay. I think what Lance is saying is that he sees the head in the trap before he beats the bird to death on the well, which I think that's also the order in which it takes place. I think the first time he encounters the seagulls when he throws the rock. Later on, he encounters the head in the lobster trap, and then.
But you remember he also falls off the building when he's supposed to be painting or something. And then he wakes up and the seagull's like in his face. He won't go away. He kicks at it and it finally flies away. Yeah. So that's the second time he sees it.
See, that's also right. Okay, yeah, you're right. The 3rd time is when he beats it to death on the rock.
But the thing is that when he finds the head, that's when the bad luck has already started. Like that's when it's already rained and shit.
That's after.
Okay, then yeah.
So Owen's right then. So he killed the bird and then saw the head.
And then he got some head.
I'll tell you, he beat the fuck out of that bird, too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how much longer is this game going? It's like, whack, 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 whack.
That scene, that made me uncomfortable. I was like, oh, gosh.
I mean, I didn't think it was uncomfortable because it was obviously a fucking, like, rubber dog toy he was smacking against the rock.
I mean,
it was just funny to me.
They just edited out all like, squeak, squeak, squeak.
It was those rubber chickens that go.
And then it's like,
wait.
That's the sound of him hitting.
Going back to the lighthouse real quick, the whole idea that you don't know what's actually in the light itself is very.
Is it knowledge? Is it power? Is it both?
It's money. He's like, I've never seen this much money before.
It's money. Don't forget about the bitches.
It's Ted DiBiase sitting in a chair.
Money.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's very like Lovecraft the way that it's done because, if you've ever read Lovecraft, it's all about like things that are so beyond what our minds can comprehend.
That makes you crazy.
It drives people insane.
Makes you fucking crazy.
So the idea that it's like blinding him and, it starts to kind of become chaotic with like the distorted screaming and all that stuff is like, and you never see what he actually sees.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
It's very much like an H.P. Lovecraft style of storytelling.
Definitely plays with Lovecraftian stuff in this.
There's a thing in one of the videos. I wish I can remember them, but the like I said, more I listen to them, the more I'm like so disinterested with the movie. But obviously, I have a lot to say. There's a lot of intersection between death and pleasure. Like there's a lot of obviously masturbation and fantasies, but also extreme pain. So there's this weird intersection between that. And at the end, when he's touching the light, is the light giving him some kind of knowledge or some kind of insight to life? Because he starts laughing manically, but it turns into screaming of pain. So it goes from extreme pleasure to extreme pain extremely quickly.
Coming.
And then he goes, And then he does the Three Stooges down the stairs. Ooh,
He goes,
Cody, you remember Owen may have played this game too. Do you remember halfway through the Spider-Man PS1 game where you're chasing Venom around and you go, it's like a little quick slideshow of the game, and you go into a building, and all of a sudden you fall down a flight of stairs like, ooh, ooh, ow, ooh, ow. Ooh, 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 you don't see it, but you just see it from outside the building. That's what this scene reminded me of. So
he goes, ow, ooh, ah, ow, dang it,
And then Venom goes, "You gotta stop falling for us, Parker."
Get out of my way, nerd. Watch that first step, Parker. It's a doozy.
Oh, toe, ow.
Look out, lady.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, sorry, lady. Didn't see a thing.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, you can go fuck yourself. I'm gonna find the clip to that. I'm gonna find the sound clip to that. I'm gonna send it to you, and you're gonna put it in this fucking thing so they don't think I'm crazy.
I think he went on that, and then there was a long pause. I don't remember that.
Cody's like, "Nah, man, go fuck yourself."
Yeah, no fucking clue what you're talking about, dude. So,
why did you chop up the lifeboat? It's so funny. Like that scene.
Why'd you chop up the lifeboat? What you started chasing old poor Wake and with that axe.
He's saying this completely calmly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like
and
gaslighting him. He's like, "Oh, you're chasing after me with that axe."
See, and
he's like, "You were chasing me with the axe," and then he goes, "Give me your knife." This government, and then he breaks his knife off and looks at him like, what the fuck is going on? And then they obviously had that quick little fight. And, okay, here's another thing that doesn't make any sense. After Pattinson beats the piss out of him, he's like, "Okay, you dog." And then the funniest scene in the movie, when fucking Defoe is crawling like a dog.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like, why is he just following him? He's like, "Ooh, arr, ooh, arr, ooh." And he's over here making dog noises and shit. I'm like, it felt like I was watching a Three Stooges bit.
Bark.
And Curly's walking on all fours.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be that, again, that Wake is...
Fucking, like Pattinson when he buries him alive.
Yeah, he's got the dirt in his mouth and shit.
Bury him. Well, he doesn't even completely bury him alive. As part of his shirt's exposed. He's like, "Fuck it, that's good enough. I gotta go up to the lighthouse."
Well, he stops breathing, so he's just like, "All right." And
yeah,
then, he's like, he's gonna get the keys from him.
Let me ask you guys this too, because I didn't pay much attention to this part of the scene. When he comes back and says, "The light is mine," and stabs him in the shoulder with the pickaxe, is Wake still covered in dirt?
I don't think,
or is he just like...
That's something I try to pay attention to as well. His shirt did not look that dirty for having all that thrown on top of him.
So maybe this is like I said, just another part of his imagination.
Yeah. See, I think it's also possible that when he was beating him, in the actual house, and he's like, "You're killing me" or whatever. I think it's possible that he actually killed him there. And then he imagined the next few parts, but who knows?
Yeah.
Because it is weird, like you're saying, he would just like go along with, start barking like a dog and crawl out there and get in the hole. Not only get in the hole, but also like starts talking while he's being buried alive.
He kind of flipped into it too. He goes and he's like, like he just kind of flipped himself into it. I'm just like. He's like barking, and the dude's just knocked the fuck out. All of a sudden, he's just like, "Woof, woof, woof." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That is funny. That is a funny scene.
I mean, it's
kind of funny. I mean, but
see,
this movie's fucking bonkers.
Part of the reason I don't think that he's like that Wake is really all that crazy beyond just being like a bullshit.
Is it because you liked his lobster?
It's because
like his lobster.
He has the logbook, right, that he writes in every day, and so he's like writing stuff down about how like Winslow is disappearing. Now, granted, he could just be lying about everything, But it seems odd, especially when you get that skip of like, oh, weeks have passed and Winslow doesn't even realize it. Because think about when Tom is lost. Like Tom is lost the first time he drinks alcohol is the night that they have the lobster. It's the night before they're supposed to leave the island, and then all of a sudden, like seems like it's the next day or so, and he's being told that it's been like. They're already like 4 weeks behind when they were supposed to leave. So,
well, no, I think it's been a week because he says, "Has it been 5 weeks or has it been 2 days?"
Well, that's just what he's saying. He's like,
yeah, but that's also Wake saying that to him. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from that thing, and I just it goes like the easiest explanation to me is like all of this has been in Winslow's head, and because they said that. Okay, what is the Greek guy again who had his innards plucked out by buzzards?
Prometheus.
The guy who stole the fire. Prometheus. Prometheus' thing is it happens every day. Like the birds will pick at his innards, and at night he heals up completely, only to relive it over again the next day. It happens every day,
right?
And it's kind of like Winslow's character is in hell, and this is what's happening to him. So this whole movie's been just like a fucking fever dream. While he's in hell or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But you see the reality at the end because why is he butt naked? All he did was fall down a flight of stairs. Where's the fucking lighthouse?
I don't think he's not butt naked, is he? I think
he is. He's butt naked.
Completely naked.
He's butt fucking naked. He's buck naked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's some things in this movie that, I mean, it's funny when I'm sitting here talking about it. And okay, this movie isn't Charlie and the Chocolate Factory bad. And it's definitely not Mother bad.
Mother.
Let's not start that again. But I definitely think this movie is like completely. I mean, it's batshit, and there's no clear answer to it. And for me, it's like the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So for me, either Winslow's completely crazy and it's all in his head, or he's literally been in purgatory this entire time, and you see the reality of it at the end of the movie.
See, I think that's one of the things that makes this movie so good in my mind is that there is no clear answer to what's happening. So it does to make it a movie that's interesting to go back and watch multiple times, so that you can try and see if you can decipher more of what's going on. I don't know that the movie is actually 100% decipherable though, because of the way that Eggers made it. And intentionally made it to where, nothing or everything could make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's intentionally supposed to be confusing in a way.
I like to know what drug him and his brother was on when they wrote this, because his brother helped finish the movie.
He was high on
writing
life
it because Eggers couldn't finish it.
They were high on fucking kerosene and honey, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's funny that for some reason this pops up in my head. I remember hearing the story a long time ago that this doctor was putting heroin into his body, and he was trying to make notes of how to, of what he was experiencing in all this. And he left a note, or, he had left like some kind of thing to bring him back to resuscitate him. I can't remember what it was. Now, it may not have been heroin. It may have been some other drug. But he had written notes there at the end because he was about to overdose. He ended up overdosing and dying. And the cure, or whatever it was to cure his reaction to this that he put into his body, I guess it was poison. I can't remember. This is a terrible storytelling. But he had left it in the desk, and he couldn't get to it, obviously. But his notes were undecipherable because of how warped his mind was. Yeah. He was just writing gibberish and writing a bunch of shit. He wasn't actually writing what in his mind was experiencing. So that's almost like Winslow's character in this movie. Like, this is what he's experiencing, but you can't really translate it.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, boys.
This movie's a trip. It is a trip. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again. I don't have interest in it.
I
definitely think it's worth a watch.
I think it'll be interesting watching The Northman.
Because that's more conventional also.
Yeah, I think it is. It does.
Well, I don't...
based on the...
I don't know about the conventional part is what draws me to it. I'm interested because it's kind of like a Viking story.
Vikings.
Oh, yeah. And I think that as far as the storytelling goes, it is. I think it. At least what I've seen from the trailers, I haven't read spoilers or anything like that for the Northman.
There
I
seems
do
to
think
be
it's more straightforward.
Yeah, but there still seems to be like elements of Eggers in it, like with the. I know in the trailer they have like that. What is she, like an oracle or some shit? I don't know what Vikings had, but she's like some kind of seer or something. She looks kind of funky.
Like a sorceress almost.
Yeah, like whatever kind of like wise. I don't know how the fuck.
And that's
Vikings
what's her
work.
face too,
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Joy Nicole, whatever.
Yeah, Mary Kay Olsen.
Yeah, Mary Kate Olsen wouldn't
Ashley.
come back to do Fuller House, but she did the Northman.
Yeah, she did the Vivitch. All right. Well, I mean, we can wrap it up. We've already talked like an hour and 25 minutes about this. If you guys want.
It's up to you, boss.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of took over the episode.
No.
There are things about the movie, Owen, you didn't say that you wanted to.
no, I can't really. I mean, we've already had our little geek out moments about, what certain things could mean. And it was great to have like a dissenting opinion even to hear from the other side because
I just hope it was more productive than what I did with Charlie and the Chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, it was very productive. I mean, to be fair, like
thankfully, Cody actually, like translated because I couldn't get my own fucking words out. So I appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah. I have issues with that too. I'm pretty bad at it. But
I'm like, words are half of my brain.
Words. But yeah, I think I've said everything I want to say about it. Like I said, it was good to have somebody else because I feel like a lot of times talking about these big movies that are kind of like famous for being, like, oh, this is like a great movie, you have to like it.
Like Morbius.
Yeah, like Morbius. I think a lot of times movies like Morbius get put into an echo chamber where, everybody is like, oh, this is the greatest movie ever, and everybody's telling themselves it's Morbin time. When, sometimes it's not Morbin time.
I don't know. I feel
There's
like
no
I feel
irony detected.
I feel like for there are quite a few movies we've done on this podcast that seem to have like an overall consensus that they're great movies and like just great film in general and
Ninja Turtles 3.
and there's usually like one of us that's like I just did not vibe with this film. It's sort of like Clerks is one of those like it's kind of recognized as one of these great movies from the 90s, great indie comedy film, and I hated it. So it's like I think it is good that typically one of us is kind of like, I'm not really into this.
The only thing I have about episodes like this is that I always hate being put on the spot trying to defend something that I like because I'm so...
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm bad at it.
And I wasn't trying to, like, challenge you.
No, it's fine.
I tried to do the best I could with this episode to separate your opinion and then my opinion. It wasn't like, so, Owen, why the fuck do you like this movie? I wasn't trying to do that. I'm like, why is this movie so fucking good? I'm like, I wanted to make sure I said at the beginning, like, this movie has a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. It has like a universal acclaim on Metacritic. And I'm in the 10% of the people, of the opinions that either doesn't like this movie. But the discussion of this movie has swung me more neutral from hating it.
Yeah.
So I went from like, I didn't really hate the movie. I was just disinterested with this movie.
Yeah, it's just...
And I still am.
Definitely not...
But I wasn't trying to challenge your opinion.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, look at here, Cody. I know you like Johnny Depp, but fuck this movie and fuck your childhood. I wasn't trying to do that. But that's what I did on the episode, and obviously people like this, so I got to do that more often to Cody.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to do that to your movie because this is his movie, and this also is the second of a trilogy of movies we're going to watch with this director. So, and the first movie was really unnerving with the witch, and this movie, like I said, I understand why there's people. I understand why people love the journey that this movie takes, like in and out of reality and fantasy or whatever it is, or maybe the whole thing's fantasy, or maybe the whole thing's fucking real. Who knows? In the supernatural.
Is this the real life?
I just look at it as an unnecessary trip to the grocery store. I didn't need to come here today. Is the best way to describe it for me. It's like, you realize, so I came to the grocery store to find something, I couldn't find it, and that's what it feels like with this movie at times. So it's like, I mean, there's things I love it. Like, I love the cinematography. I love the fucking black and white visual. It feels like a 1920s to 1950s movie when it comes to black and white. Like, obviously the squid monster part is CGI and it looks really good. I'm talking about like the seagull part, which obviously isn't CGI. It's like a rubber toy squawking at him when it does the first person view, and I like that.
Sneagle.
But the Sneagle.
Yeah.
But, it's just, everything about it. And he's a great director. I just feel like he obviously made this movie just to fuck with people, and he wanted them to ask questions. It's still better than anything Rian Johnson's done that I've watched. So, there's that.
Yeah, this is definitely one of his personal project kind of movies, which sadly we will, his next movie is going to be something he did for, so the next movie isn't A24, is it?
Let me check real quick.
I know it had a way bigger budget, and like he had like another director on to kind of give him like he was trying to make a more wide appeal movie in the next movie, and sadly it didn't do as well. So
it is.
But he also got fucked by the pandemic.
Yeah, the pandemic fucked him.
It was distributed by Focus Features in the United States and Universal internationally.
Okay.
Regency is the production company.
All right, so yeah, he's probably after that kind of flopped. He's probably going to go back to A24 and make more personal films or lower budget films, which doesn't hurt my feelings. I'm fine with that.
I'm really hoping for Nosferatu.
Yeah, I mean,
like I want a terrifying vampire movie. Like The Witch was terrifying to me in instances.
Yeah,
I'm interested in actually being scared of a vampire
vampire,
and I haven't been scared in a vampire movie in like fucking years.
Well, Twilight was kind of scary.
I know.
Yeah,
it's scary. I swear, I regret watching all 5 of those movies, but I did it for my girl. So
all right. Well, you guys want to give recommendations? I mean, I'm sure people already know where we stand, but we can go ahead and do that, guy, if you want.
Yeah.
Let me get my negative one out of the way.
Right.
I was going to not recommend this movie, like before we recorded, to it's a one watch for somebody who's interested. But yeah, I'll say I'll recommend it if it's a curiosity on your point, but it's not a movie I'm ever going to go back to. I don't have any interest in rewatching it or like studying it anymore. I'm putting it away after I stop recording. So,
All right, Cody, do you want to go next?
Yeah. As I said a little bit ago, I do think this is I would definitely recommend this movie. It's also good for multiple viewings, just because it is one of those films that I think has more and more things you pick up on every time you watch it, and it kind of helps with trying to decipher the story of the film itself. It like we've said multiple times, it is a very unconventional film. As far as the way it's shot by today's standards, the way it's shot, and the color grading of it, and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I definitely would recommend this.
Sweet. All right. What do you like this more than the Vivitch, or do you like the Vivitch more than this?
It's hard to say because The Witch is one of my favorite horror movies, but it's hard to compare it to this because I don't really view this as horror necessarily, or at least the type of
they're just not the same.
Not really the same.
Yeah, it's like comparing like fucking Die Hard to, I don't know, The Grudge or some shit.
Yeah. So it's just like I love both of these movies, but I don't know. I think. I can't pick one. It's just too. They're just too different. I think for me to really pick one over the other.
Alrighty then. I'll move on to my recommendations. I recommend this movie. I think it's a pretty good movie. If you like Cthulhu and scary, or at least you're kind of creepy-ish maybe, nautical stuff, I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, I liked it. I like this one a little more than The Witch, I will say. So there we go. That's our recommendations. Tune in next time for what are the movies? What movies? Who's next?
So our next couple of movies are going to be Christmas related. So we won't get to the Northman right away, but the next movie's mine, and it's going to be Krampus.
Krampus.
And then I believe Lance's, you said yours is Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, that's a Christmas movie. So,
All right.
yes. I didn't know if I came up with it. Yeah, that's a Christmas
I'm
movie.
thinking Taxi Driver. I really want to watch Taxi Driver, but I'm not sure.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how that is. So that might be my next one. But
Okay, and then after Owen's next film, it'll be mine again, which will be The Northman. So we'll wrap up the
trilogy.
The Robert Eggers trilogy. Yeah.
And then my next movie is going to be Morbius because it made more money than all three of them.
Morpheus, Dorpheus. Go eat some walruses.
Oh, God, I feel like this is a running joke that I'm going to have to like cash in on. Like, okay, I need like fucking pick Morbius because the Northman. You know, so.
I will literally not be able to. I will be completely unable to be unironic during the Morbius. I will suck that movie's dick.
Dude, you are going to hate fucking Morbius.
But I will
like this movie. How like let's say like this movie. How you and Cody really love it, and I went from hating it to being neutral.
Uh-huh.
Morbius, me and Cody are going to be like, it's an okay movie. You're going to be like, I literally just shit on my keyboard because I hate this fucking podcast and that movie.
I'm gonna walk into this and I'm gonna be like, dude, that movie was fucking the best movie ever made. Like, I'm literally not going to be able to say anything bad about it because it's just too funny.
I mean, be honest with you, I don't really think it's that funny.
I think it's funny.
Like that movie's kind of boring for a comic book movie just because of the way it's cut.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, the memes are funnier than the whole
yeah,
movie.
that's my point. I guess I'm trying to make is that I love how everybody has like memed it as like the best movie ever made.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, I think because my buddy Alex hated it, I think Owen, I think you're going to hate it so much that you're not going to find anything to meme about it. You're just going to be like, this movie was a complete waste of my existence. I fucking hate this movie, and I hate you guys, and I'm off the podcast. It's going to be one of those
Morpheus.
So we're going to wait until after the Northman to get Morbius in there, and then we'll get a new co-host.
What about Morpheus?
You know,
Are they going to make a movie about him?
Morpheus from the Matrix.
Yeah.
that's after Nosferatu. It's an A24 movie.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's an indie movie about Morpheus. That's cool. I'll watch it.
All right, everybody. Thank y'all for listening to our little show, and we'll see you next time on Dragon Ball GT.
Dragon Ball Super.
Why'd you spill the beans?
Mother, do you want to spill beans with me? All right, I'm stopping.
That's perfect, yeah.